to my YouTube channel. This is my first video, and if this is your first time checking out my platform on my channel, I'd love you to like, share, subscribe. This is unconventional design, and this channel aims to bring you design tutorials across UI UX design and product design in general. Also, this platform aim at helping young designers grow in the industry, and also design enthusiasts to get started in design. And this channel is ready to help everyone who's interested in design to get started. So I'd love you to help this channel grow, please. I'd love you to like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and I promise to bring you new videos every week. Yeah, so without wasting much of our time, let's get started into today's topic. Today's topic is um, going to be on grid system. The reason why this topic is brought to you this early is because grid system is one of the fundamentals or the basics of creating a website or a mobile application, and making it responsive across every screen sizes. The difference between each of the spaces using your designs and thereabouts. So without wasting much of our time, I would like to speed up into showing you around Figma. But if this is your first time using Figma, Figma is a tool used by UI UX designer, which is user interface and user experience designers, to create amazing UI experiences. So if this is your first time using Figma, now we just dive straight into it. So you can just click your keyboard, which is F, to create frame. So when you click on keyboard F, your key F, you're going to get this panel right here that lists MacBook Air M2, MacBook Pro 14, and 16, and desktop screen. So today we'll be using the desktop to start with. Then we move on to iPad and the mobile screens. So when you select that, you have this. So you can only zoom out by scrolling on your mouse, or zooming out on your mouse if that permits. And also you can also increase your zoom in and zoom out on this panel right here. So that's it. So first, the grid system here in Figma is a layer grid. So we have two different type of grids in Figma, which is the vertical and the horizontal, and we have the column and the rows. So the column right here is the vertical, while the rows is the horizontal type of grid. So let's assume we are trying to create a website. So to enable you get a proper grid system for your website or your landing page, first you come to this panel here, which you have your layout grid. You would see something like grid 10 pixels, and you can always click on this dotted three column boxes, or three rows boxes here icon. Then you have your grid, then you select columns. When you select columns, we in design, for when creating a website, we always go for a 12 column grid. Then we have colors. This color can be changed as regards any depending on your choice. You can change it to green, a purple, a red, as it fits for you. So I would love to use something conventional that or something clearer that everybody can see. So we've gone for that. That's a FCCB scissor if you are following me. Also for this we have the different angles or types of columns that we like. So when you click on left is just maybe you have a column at the side of this, and also for the right it moves to this end, and center it says right in the middle, and also for stretch takes over the entire canvas, which is the desktop screen. So here today I'll be talking about just the stretch, so as we're using for our tutorial. So we are going to give margin is really just margin. On stretch we don't need to set the width, but on center or other grid grid types we would might have to set our um, width to fit whatever we want, in which we won't be able to set the offset. So but it's always better to stretch so we can calculate the margin we want. So margin simply in design is in grid system or Figma is just more like your normal notebook in which you have to draw a margin. Just imagine and imagine here just to give you okay, this is the guideline for a particular um, screen you're designing for. More like do not touch this area at all, do not touch this area. So when you're setting your margin for a website, I always like to go for 150, but a lot of people go for 70, but to me I really feel like 70 is small because I always like a lot of breathing space for my design, so I always go for 150. Some people go for 120, which is not still bad. 120 is not still bad, but most times I just like to have my designs right in the middle of the page, in which I have a lot of breathing space over here. And the gutter is just the distance between each column here. So when we have, let's change this to 30, and we have a bigger column. I don't know if you can see that, but if you change this to 20, 20 is always better, so let's use 20 as our gutter. Since remember I said gutter is the distance between this column and this column and this column and this column, so gutter is just the space between this column right here. So that's that about columns. And if you consider when we adjust the sky, it's responsive and the spacing is still, the gutter and the margin are still consistent, which is 130, which is 120 or 150 thereabout that we used, and 20 respectively. So that's that about column grids. Also we'll be talking about the rows. On this we can create a rows, which is rows. Then we're going to use auto here because we don't know how long the page is going to look, or it's going to be. We don't know how long the page is going to be, so currently we just select auto, and we have a cutoff of 0, have a 0 cutoff, and we select center and give this guy 8 because we're designing for a landing page. So I don't know if you can see the line. So the line here, the distance between these two lines is 8 pixel because it's 8 pixel height. So let's see it this way. So when we try to maybe adjust our screens, they all adjust with it. So let's revert that back to normal. Yeah, so that's it. So this is the horizontal guys. The horizontal guys are the rows, while the vertical guys, which is columns, are the columns, right? So now looking in deep into what we already have. So how do we apply this to our designs? So now, assuming we are designing for a landing page, so we're looking at creating a navigation bar, which is just let's say of this height, and let's just keep it let's say of this height. So can you see that my frames are aligning just so they are snapping to the grid just as I wanted because of the rows I created. So they're just snapping. So if I move them, they're snapping, they're snapping, they're snapping, they're snapping. So it's just as I wanted. So now, assuming this is our navigation bar, and we just quickly create the little frame here just to showcase what we want to do. So right there, this is our navigation. Assuming this is our navigation, just a little wireframe. Then the next frame is going to be our arrow section, where we can add text and button and several images just to call out the attention of our users. And then let's talk about the other sections, maybe features and all that. So we'll just use some of our components here to reorganize that. So now, like I mentioned, this is where we'll now see the use of our rows and columns properly. So now see that has snapped to the grid, and here we are looking at this guy, and also so now we are looking at this to be our services or features of whatever landing page we are creating, and we are duplicating this session just to. So now I already have this guy and one last guy here. So yes, so like I mentioned before, our quota was 20. So I use that 20 here to make it snap. So now I really don't have to calculate anything because they are automatically being snapped to the grid because of how proper my pages were aligned. And also, if you feel like we have other sections I want to add, we can keep adding. Let's assume we'll just reuse some of our components here and try to manipulate them and see how far we can go with that. So let's say this is the middle. Okay, so this is the middle, and I'm creating something new. So okay, let's go with this guy. So okay, fine. So I think that's it. So we have these two guys as another section entirely. So we're creating something else just to show you how good grid systems are, how fantastic grid systems are in your design, and how it helps you and also helps your developers to properly get how to make sure that designs are properly aligned and the spacings don't give issues. So looking at this, so we have both are 6 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is middle, and this is the middle of the design. So now let's look at what we so when we count this guy, we have 8, 16, 32. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. That's what 11 times 8 is 88. So when we check on this guy and see, I don't know if you can see this guy right here. This guy right here shows a margin of 88. The distance between this guy and this guy is 88. Like we counted in our grid, we have every line here is of 8 because that's what we used in our grid from start, which is our rows have a height of 8. So here we have the distance between these guys. So we have the distance between these guys to be 88. So yes, so that is, so the distance is 88 because we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and each column, height of each column is 8, so that's times that. So that's just a little mathematics on this. So like we mentioned before, that our column here, the column distance between this column is 20, which is the gutter. So if we go up and check our layout grid for this page, you realize that we use the 20 gutter, and these guys are giving us a difference of what, 20. That's fantastic. Also, if we come down here to check, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 8 times 6 here now gives us this guy, which is 48, which is when we calculate 8 times 6 gives us what, 48. So a little math we do in designs that makes our work properly aligned and properly look good. So this is, let's assume this is our illustration, and let's change the colors of this guy to fit this guy's color, so that you see the beauty of it. So sorry, so we're turning off the grid, and we're having a proper design, calculated grids, and proper outline of how good the designs look like on this guy, on this page, right? So that's that on that. So that's that for our desktop screen. Also, let's move on to checking out how the grid system works on iPad. Let's check iPad Pro. So instead of wasting our time to create the grid again over time, we can just duplicate our grid we have here already. Just for this guy, just come here and select these guys. Sorry about that. So just come here and select these guys, and come here and select them, and Command C, and come here and paste, which is Control V. So when you come here and paste, you automatically generate this grid from this guy, from this desktop page. So you already have the same thing for your iPad screen, and the margin remains the same and also perfect. So when the website is supposed to show, the website shows the same way on this guy. So let's move on with some of our designs on this page, like we mentioned. So we're making sure that they all get aligned, and yeah, so on this guy still works the same way. So let's see how it goes for this iPad. So we're just going to click on K to constrain some of our shapes, just to give us the same good look like we had on our web. So we're looking at giving this guy the same 88 space we looked at giving it before. So since this is a mobile screen, so we would have to reduce some of the sizes to fit whatever we're looking at. So the margin here still remains 20. So we're still giving these guys the margin of 20, and we'll be looking at arranging them properly to fit, just as we looked at before. So currently, I think they already fit, and yeah, I think they already fit perfectly. The margin, and I think our heights are now perfect. Also, same things goes for this guy. I'm just trying to speed up the work. So we can also now pay our time to make sure this fits. So since it's a tablet, the size will reduce, and we still want our spacing to remain the same across board. So right there, we're still going to have our spacing of 20, and I think that is perfect. So we're moving this guy up to fit our lines. So remember what we used here, which is the distance between them is 48. So when we come here directly, we can just add one line, which is 48. So we don't even need to check it's going to be on a perfect line. Immediately enter 48. It's going to fit into your grid lines. And also this guy to this guy, the line currently 70, which is not balanced. So we need to see what's wrong. Oh, okay, this line is not on this. So let's check again and see. So now we have a number that is divisible. So let's change this to 88 like we promised. So right now I think we're balanced and everything is on its own line, and that's perfect. So distance between these two guys is 88. Distance between this guy is still is 32. So and what we used here was 48. So we're bringing this guy just right down to see. So the height just going to so yeah. So that's that on that. So moving on to I think moving on to that. So same thing goes for this guy. So for mobile views, what we just do is come to click on F and click on font size. Let's use an iPhone 11 Pro Max. It's kind of bigger. So we are going to have to make this guy a mobile screen. So and but it's going to be just a little bit different in some ways, in which you might have to reduce the margin over here and have margin for mobile is have a normal column of 4, and we have our gutter and we have our margin. So people go for 16, but I like the better breathing space for my design, so I go for 20. Also, we still need our rows here too, and we have to leave it auto and maybe 0 gutter and give it center and have mistake it. Yeah, so like I mentioned, our navigation also follows us here, and we only have to just adjust. So assuming our logos and our menu button stay here, and also I'm moving this guy about to this other page just to fit in, and let's see how that does, how that goes. So we'll just give it a normal alignment and we make sure our line here fits. So immediately that fits, we move this up so it also fits the other lines, and we match this here for a mobile responsive page. Then the other pages are going to be stacked based on the responsiveness. So Then this guy here, let's try, let's pick from a, we're picking from the tab already, so let's pick from it. So surely it fits. The only thing we just have to do is just a little bit of adjustments. So just make it balance and look good. And since the space we gave these guys was 88 and we're still using 88 currently, so you just have to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we can move it here and start counting, because every move you make is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So that space works. Then we are supposed to have a 20 margin space for these guys. But since this is now stacked, I think the margin space will have to change to a 24, which would help us fit this, because we're using the vertical, not the horizontal. We're now using the horizontal spacing for these cards instead of the vertical we'll be using. So they automatically fit in. And moving on to the other cards, which is down below. So let's pick cards from this guy. Oh, so we're supposed to duplicate this guy just to fit. So we're already showing 16. I think it's just 3. So I think that fits perfectly. So here, so we are just going to duplicate these guys and move them in, so we can reuse them. Okay, so how that's going to work is that they're all going to be stacked. So this is going to be stacked like this, and it's going to be reduced for a mobile responsive website using grids. And also this guy too is going to be very responsive. I'm going to reduce them the same way like we just did the one above. So I think we kind of like moved it too much, so we are going to remove that. So I think that's perfect. Yeah, I think that's perfect. So that's perfectly fitting for what we're looking for. I'm sorry, that was my mistake. Okay, so fine. So this is so perfect, and what we're looking at now is also this also has I think a spacing of 20, which is not really what we targeting for, which is on mobile. So now we're moving this to a space of 320.4. You can check the distance between this guy is now still 88, and the distance between these guys should definitely be 24 each. So then this guy, now we need to move it to have our I think 48 spacing, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll click on this. We show our 48, and every other guy should be on their lines, except for this guy. I think something here we missed. This selection is 24. So I think everything is now perfect, and this is simply how grids work across platforms, across screen sizes, which is first is desktop, and which it makes your design organized and proper. So you can turn them off and see how it makes your design look and across all platforms, which is um, this is desktop, this is iPad, and this is an iPhone screen, which is mobile. So using layout grids, it even helps developers get rid of spacing and alignment properly on your designs when they are interpreting it into codes. So guys, I think that's about it for today's tutorial, and I hope you really learned something. And thank you for your time, and thank you for watching up to this time. Um, it would be really nice of you to smash that like button and also subscribe and share to your friends and design enthusiasts. Thank you so much for your time.